Kia ora anō, welcome back. Graham Smith here with my colleague and friend Annette Topoiono, and we're talking about some of the issues to do with learning differences, which comes under the umbrella of neurodiversity. So in our last session, we talked about what these learning differences are, what we mean by that, and then today, Annette, I'd like you to unpack a little bit more about some of the underlying causes of learning difficulties and differences. So what do you think? What are some of the common underlying causes for this?
Yeah, so it can be a complicated area, but there are different factors involved, and some things we might not think about. It can be due to one thing we mentioned in one of the other segments was just reflect lack of schooling rather than literacy or learning difficulties. Another thing as educators, I guess, we also need to think about, are our programs pitched at the right level? Are we pitching, if it's a level 3 program, is it pitched at level 3 or step 3 if we're talking about the learning progressions? Because some of the studies that I've done, and I've tested a lot of programs and looked at readability levels and if the level matches the programs, and in a lot of cases it doesn't, they're pitched too high. So if we have a learner that has the ability for level 3 program and we're pitching it too high, then it may appear that they have difficulties or struggling with the program. But have we complicated that, or have we contributed to that? So it's just another thing to think about that I looked into in quite some depth.
Just before you go on to the next thing, how
Yes.
widespread do you think this particular issue is? Because I've done a little bit of work. I mean, for those of our colleagues out there that use the learning progressions, and how that system works with the steps 1 to 6, 1 being something that's kind of very basic and easy, and 6 being something that's much more complex. Whenever I've looked at trades and vocational content, it pretty much always maps onto step 5, step 6. And I guess there's a reason for that. Technical vocab is just one part of the reason. So this is a really widespread problem, I think, isn't it?
It is. And when I did the testing, admittedly it was testing 1 program per level, but I tested from a level 2 program right up to level 6 in terms of what that looked like. And in most cases they were overpitched.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and it is another, I guess it's another area of expertise on how to ensure that. But it is something that can affect out in this area.
So I guess just as a general good teaching practice principle, things that we talk about and that we know, like just plain English, not too many words, shortish sentences, pre-teaching vocabulary, that's not necessarily going to solve a neurodiversity problem, but it's going to solve a whole lot of other problems that may be kind of feeding into the bigger lack of comprehension or difficulties that most people are having in their courses.
And they're great strategies too, and they're good teaching practice, but they're also good strategies when we help, we want to support those that are challenged.
Yeah.
I mean, the technical vocabulary, we see that in most programs, and it might be level 3 program in construction, but there's a lot of difficult vocab. So if we can help in that space, that could also help the akonga to, let it reflect that they are capable of that program or have the ability.